Asteroid Alert 2024. Is something like Chicxulub on its way? Hey there, space enthusiasts and curious minds. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered, what if one of those twinkling dots decided to play a cosmic game of chicken with Earth? Today we're about to dive into the wild world of asteroid threats. And trust me, it's going to be a bumpy ride. Now I know what you're thinking. Asteroids? Aren't those just big space rocks floating around minding their own business? Well, my friends, sometimes these celestial wanderers decide to crash the party, literally. And when they do, it can be a real showstopper. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of future threats, let's take a quick trip down memory lane. 66 million years ago, Earth was having a pretty good day. Dinosaurs were roaming around, probably thinking they were the coolest thing since sliced bread, which, to be fair, hadn't been invented yet. Then WHAM, an uninvited guest, about 10 to 15 kilometers wide, decided to drop in. This party crasher, now known as the Chixculub asteroid, hit the Earth with the force of billions of atomic bombs. It was so catastrophic that it wiped out about 75% of plant and animal species on Earth, including our dinosaur friends. Now you might be wondering, why are we talking about something that happened millions of years ago? Well, my curious friend, the Chicxulub impact serves as a stark reminder of what could happen if another big space rock decided to play bumper cars with our planet. This cataclysmic event paved the way for the rise of mammals, including us humans. So, in a weird twist of cosmic fate, we owe our existence to this devastating impact. It's like the universe played the ultimate game of destroy to create. Now you might be thinking, that's ancient history, why should I care? Well, my curious friend, the Chicxulub impact serves as a sobering reminder of the potential threats lurking in our cosmic neighborhood. It's like nature's way of saying, hey, remember what happened to the dinosaurs? Keep your eyes on the sky. But don't worry, we're not just sitting around waiting for the next cosmic curveball. In fact, we've got some pretty cool tech and smart people working around the clock to keep us safe. But more on that in a bit. For now, let's just say that understanding past impacts like Chicxulub helps us prepare for potential future threats. Because let's face it, when it comes to asteroid impacts, we'd rather be more the Martian and less Armageddon, right? Understanding the Chicxulub impact helps us gauge the potential devastation of future asteroid threats. It's our benchmark, our cosmic measuring stick. When scientists talk about potentially hazardous asteroids today, they often compare them to Chicxulub. It's like saying, on a scale of pebble to dinosaur killer, how bad could this be? But don't start panic buying asteroid insurance just yet. The good news is impacts of this scale are incredibly rare. We're talking once every 100 million years or so. Plus, unlike the dinosaurs, we've got some tricks up our sleeve when it comes to spotting and potentially deflecting these cosmic curveballs. Let's talk about that later. Enter NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office. Sounds fancy, right? Well, these folks are basically Earth's bouncers, keeping an eye out for any rowdy asteroids trying to crash our planetary party. They're like the space-age equivalent of that friend who always spots trouble at the club before anyone else. But how do they do it? Well, they've got some pretty nifty tools in their asteroid spotting toolkit. First up is the Sentry Impact Monitoring System. This bad boy is like a cosmic fortune teller, constantly crunching numbers to predict the future orbits of potentially hazardous asteroids. It's like playing chess with space rocks, always thinking several moves ahead. Sentry is constantly scanning the skies, keeping tabs on thousands of near-Earth objects. It's looking for any hint that these cosmic wanderers might be on a collision course with Earth. And when I say constantly, I mean it. This system is running 24/7 because asteroids don't take coffee breaks. But wait, there's more. We've also got the Scout system. Think of Scout as the new kid on the block, always on the lookout for fresh faces, or in this case, newly detected near-Earth objects. It's like the celestial equivalent of a bouncer with a really good memory for faces. When a new object is spotted, Scout quickly calculates its orbit and assesses whether it poses any risk to Earth. It's like a cosmic triage system, helping astronomers decide which new discoveries need a closer look. Now you might be wondering, how accurate are these systems? Well, they're pretty darn good. But here's a fun fact. Sometimes these systems can cause a bit of a stir. Remember asteroid 2023 BU? Scout initially calculated it had a 1 in 600 chance of hitting Earth. Spoiler alert, it didn't. It actually passed by closer than some of our satellites, but missed us completely. Talk about a cosmic close call. But don't worry, false alarms like this are actually a good thing. They show that our detection systems are sensitive enough to spot even small, close-passing asteroids. It's like having an overzealous smoke detector. Better to be woken up by a false alarm than sleep through a real fire, right? These systems are our first line of defense against cosmic impacts. They're constantly improving, getting better at spotting smaller and more distant objects. It's like we're gradually turning on the lights in a dark room, revealing more and more of what's out there. So the next time you're lying awake at night worrying about asteroid impacts, because we all do that, right? Just remember there's a whole team of dedicated scientists and some seriously smart computers working around the clock to keep us safe. There are planetary guardian angels, armed with telescopes and supercomputers instead of halos and harps. And who knows, maybe one day thanks to these systems, we'll be able to spot an incoming asteroid early enough to do something about it. But that's a story for another section. For now, let's just be grateful we're not relying on a T-Rex with binoculars to spot incoming space rocks. Let's talk about the potentially hazardous asteroids, or PHAs for short. These are the cosmic troublemakers that keep astronomers up at night, and not just because they're stargazing. So what makes an asteroid potentially hazardous? Well, it's not just about size, although that's definitely part of it. It's like the cosmic version of big and tall shops, but instead of clothes, we're talking about space rocks that could ruin everyone's day. First off, to be considered a PHA, an asteroid needs to be big enough to cause significant damage if it hit Earth. We're talking about objects larger than 140 meters or 460 feet in diameter. To put that in perspective, it's about the size of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Imagine that hurtling towards Earth at cosmic speeds. Yikes. But size isn't everything. Sorry, asteroid, size does matter in this case. These space rocks also need to be in an orbit that brings them uncomfortably close to Earth. How close is too close? Well, astronomers use something called the Minimum Orbit Intersection Distance, or MOID. It's a fancy way of saying how close does this asteroid's orbit come to Earth's orbit. If an asteroid's MOID is less than 0.05 astronomical units, that's about 7.5 million kilometers or 4.6 million miles, and it's bigger than our 140-meter threshold, congratulations, it just earned its PHA badge. It's like a cosmic driver's license, but instead of allowing them to drive, it puts them on our Watch Closely list. Now you might be thinking, 7.5 million kilometers sounds like a lot. And you're right, it is. But in cosmic terms, it's like a cosmic near miss. Remember, Earth is hurtling through space at about 30 kilometers per second. At that speed, 7.5 million kilometers is like a car passing you on the highway with just inches to spare. But wait, there's more. Astronomers also use some fancy scales to measure just how worried we should be about these space rocks. First up is the Torino Impact Hazard Scale. Think of it as a cosmic mood ring, ranging from 0, nothing to see here folks, to 10. It's been nice knowing you, Earth. Most asteroids we track are firmly in the 0 category. Occasionally, a newly discovered asteroid might briefly jump up to 1 or 2 on the scale, causing a brief flutter of excitement in the astronomical community. But so far, nothing has ever gone above 4. It's like the universe is playing a cosmic game of not touching you with Earth. For the more mathematically inclined, there's also the Palermo Technical Impact Hazard Scale. This one's a bit more complex, taking into account the impact energy, the impact probability, and how far in the future the potential impact might occur. So the next time you hear about a potentially hazardous asteroid, you'll know exactly what that means. It's big, it's coming relatively close, and it's earned itself a spot on our cosmic watch list. But remember, potentially hazardous doesn't mean definitely going to hit us. It's more like, hey, watch out and keep a constant eye. And keep an eye we do. Thanks to our monitoring systems, we're getting better at spotting these cosmic troublemakers every day. So don't lose sleep over PHAs, unless you're an astronomer, in which case, it's literally your job to lose sleep over them. Before we move on, do you think we're due for a next cosmic catastrophe similar to the Chicxulub? Let us know in the comments section below. Okay, now that's out of the way, let's roll out the red carpet for some of the most notable space rocks in our cosmic neighborhood. First up, we have asteroid 29075 1950 DA. This bad boy is the diva of the asteroid world, always keeping us on our toes. Discovered way back in 1950, hence the catchy name, it's about 1.3 kilometers wide. That's like 9 football fields lined up end to end. But what really makes 1950 DA interesting is its future plans. It's got a hot date with Earth penciled in for March 16th, 2880. Talk about planning ahead. Now, before you start panic buying apocalypse supplies, remember that 2880 is over 800 years away. Plus, the chances of impact are pretty slim, about 0.012%. To put that in perspective, you're more likely to be struck by lightning, twice. Still, 1950 DA holds the record for the highest known probability of impact for any asteroid. It's like the asteroid equivalent of that friend who always may be attending events on Facebook. Next on our list is the asteroid formerly known as the asteroid most likely to hit Earth, Apophis, named after the Egyptian god of chaos, because apparently astronomers have a flair for the dramatic. This 370-meter wide space rock caused quite a stir when it was discovered in 2004. Initially, calculations showed a 2.7% chance of Apophis hitting Earth in 2029. That might not sound like much, but in asteroid terms, it's huge. Although it's still going to make an incredibly close pass by Earth on April 13, 2029. How close? Well, it'll come within 31,000 kilometers of Earth's surface. That's closer than some of our satellites. It'll be so close that people will be able to see it with the naked eye. Talk about a cosmic photo opportunity. Now, let's not forget about some of the other notable asteroids that keep popping up on NASA's Asteroid Watch dashboard. There's Bennu, a 490-meter wide asteroid that's been hanging out near Earth for a while. NASA's OSIRIS-REx mission even visited Bennu and snagged some samples. It's like getting a souvenir from the universe's gift shop. Then there's 2019 OK, which gave us all a bit of a scare when it zipped past Earth in July of 2019. The sneaky little asteroid, about 100 meters wide, wasn't spotted until the day it made its close approach. It passed about 65,000 kilometers from Earth, which in cosmic terms is like a bullet whizzing past your ear. Talk about a cosmic wake-up call. And let's not forget about 2023 DW, a 50-meter asteroid that briefly held the top spot on the European Space Agency's risk list earlier this year. For a hot minute, it had a 1 in 607 chance of impact in 2046. But don't worry, further observations have since lowered those odds significantly. It's like the boy who cried wolf, but in space. These are just a few of the many asteroids we're keeping an eye on. Each one is like a cosmic character in an ever-unfolding space drama. Will they hit us? Probably not, but they sure keep things interesting. And who knows, maybe one day we'll be able to visit some of these famous space rocks ourselves. Until then, we'll keep watching the skies and hoping these celestial celebrities keep their distance. At this point, let's take a look at one of these hypothetical scenarios. Picture this. It's April 2023. Oh wait, that's our recent past. Time flies when you're having fun with asteroids. Astronomers discover a new asteroid about 100 to 300 meters in diameter. Let's call it 2023 PDC because scientists love their acronyms. Initial observations suggest that 2023 PDC has a 1 in 100 chance of hitting Earth in October 2036. That's about 13 years to prepare, which might seem like a lot, but remember, we're not just planning a surprise party here. We're trying to prevent a global catastrophe. As more observations come in, the impact probability increases. Suddenly, it's not a question of if 2023 PDC will hit, but where. The potential impact zone stretches across Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. It's like the world's worst game of cosmic darts, and Earth is the dartboard. Now here's where it gets really interesting. If 2023 PDC were to hit, the energy released would be equivalent to at least 1,300 megatons of TNT. That's about 26 times more powerful than the largest nuclear bomb ever detonated. The impact would create a crater up to 7 kilometers wide. That's like dropping a giant cosmic bowling ball right in the middle of a major metropolitan area. The devastation would be catastrophic, affecting millions of people and causing long-lasting environmental and economic impacts. Depending on where exactly it hits, we could be looking at massive tsunamis if it lands in water, or continent-spanning dust clouds if it hits land. Either way, it's going to ruin a lot of people's day. Now, before you start digging that bunker in your backyard, remember, this is a hypothetical scenario. It's designed to be challenging, to push our planetary defense capabilities to the limit. It's like when your gym trainer makes you do just one more rep. It's tough, but it makes you stronger. These exercises help scientists and decision makers identify gaps in our current defense strategies. They ask tough questions like, how quickly can we mobilize a response? Can we deflect the asteroid? If not, how do we prepare for impact? It's like a giant high-stakes game of what if. The beauty of these scenarios is that they bring together experts from all over the world. You've got astronomers, physicists, emergency response teams, and government officials all working together. It's like the ultimate cosmic team-building exercise. And here's the really cool part. Every time we run one of these scenarios, we get better at handling them. We improve our detection capabilities, refine our deflection strategies, and enhance our emergency response plans. It's like leveling up in the game of planetary defense. So next time you hear about a hypothetical asteroid impact scenario, don't panic. Instead, think of it as humanity's way of saying to the universe, bring it on, we're ready for whatever you throw at us. Because when it comes to cosmic threats, practice makes perfect. And in this game, we're aiming for nothing less than saving the world. What's sure is that I've definitely enjoyed telling you about these asteroid tales and how prepared we are to handle them. Hope you loved the show today. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe so you don't miss anything we release, and as always, stay insanely curious.